Hi guys, my name's Casey Sergi and I'm a future OT major and I just watched the movie Alive Inside, so I hope you enjoy my reflection on it and come back for another video. After seeing the movie Alive, it brought out a lot of emotions in me and questions like, how is it possible that we never thought about this sooner if artists have been writing about their emotions in music for so long now? I've also seen so many interviews when artists are talking about how music tells a story. So it's crazy that we never thought about this sooner. It's also so sad seeing how many people affected by this disease forget all of their memories from their childhood that we take for granted a lot of the times. Like, yes, it is terrible that we have to study for our midterms and we have to go to school and do all these tests and read these textbooks, but we get the opportunity to memorize them and use our conscious memory to do well on a test or do well on a quiz and get the career that we wanted. So seeing that some people who are affected with this disease, forget their childhood memories or all of the things they learned in college and just everything like that really broke my heart because it's just awful to see. The first thing that really hit my heart was how Henry started speaking again after listening to music, because I think a lot of people don't understand how much music does for you. Just by listening to other people's stories and listening to how they wanted to sing their music and how they thought it would be the best really brings you back in time. So one time I used to listen, at one point in my life, me and my best friend used to listen to a country song every summer, and it was our favorite song. So every time we hear that song, it brings me back to when we were 5 years old, when my family would drive onto the beach, and that was kind of like Henry's experience, and he just was talking about music. It made him talk again, and it really gave him the confidence, not even the confidence, just the will and want to speak again, and the ability, because he was interested in it. Something else that really hit my heart was how even the people that didn't physically verbally respond, they were still nodding their head and seeing how the music affected them really made a difference. And there's been studies showing how babies start sucking on bottles more when a certain sound comes out, meaning that they could see that scientists can tell that babies understand. It was kind of the same thing. So seeing how all of these people just connected and again, if they didn't say anything, I'm wondering what memories are coming back to them. Do they have memories with their family as kids, and what did that song bring back to them, and how did it affect them like that? I just want to know. To cut back to how much music really impacts people, I think people who are becoming nurses, doctors, or even people in the music industry who are in a slump of writing should watch this movie, and I think it would give them the inspiration to write again, to see how much their job personally impacts people would really make a big difference in everyone's lives, because the music that they would produce would just be so much more heartfelt, just how this movie made me feel. And to go along with the doctors, anyone in the healthcare, honestly anyone, I think them watching this movie would really change their way of speaking to people who are in nursing homes who have this disease. Because I think a lot of times people just automatically think oh, they have Alzheimer's, they don't remember. They're still a human, they're still living, and this movie really proved that they still have their memories. They just need something to spark it sometimes. And I think if they started playing music around the nursing home, or again, if it's a doctor and they're in the hospital, trying this before giving them that really expensive medicine that doesn't work a lot of the times could make a big difference. So I personally think that in a nursing home, there's been a lot of problems with that, and there's been a lot of cases on how people treat people with Alzheimer's. So I think them watching back and seeing how much excitement and like how they danced and just their emotions come back is something that, again, I know I keep saying it, this movie was so inspirational and inspiring. Another big reason why this movie impacted me so much is because my best friend's grandpa is going through Alzheimer's. I've known my best friend since I was 4 years old. I go to holidays with them. I do everything with them. So I'm very close with her immediate family too, like, and just her grandparents. So every time I would see him, he'd be like, "Oh, Casey," and like we had jokes and stuff. And it went from that to, "Who are you again?" And just I watched his emotions and his personality disappear. And it got to the point where he did have to move in with them. So I would see them a lot more because I would see him a lot more because I'm always at her house. And I watched how it not only impacted him, but impacted their family. So again, I'm only like her best friend. So again, it didn't impact me as much as, again, it impacted them. But to see how nurses had to come in, and he still, when he was living with them, he's now living in a nursing home, he still remembered some. So they always used to bring him outside because he loved gardening. So I think that kind of is with the same with music. They would bring him outside to bring up his emotions and to make him happy. And it honestly, like, you would see his emotions come back to him when he would start gardening. So I'm wondering now if this would bring so much more to him if he tried this treatment and was trying to do the music and stuff like that. And I'm wondering, like, how many nursing homes saw this movie and decided to try it and saw results. So I think it really could be impactful to bring people's emotions up and just make them feel not normal, but because, again, that doesn't make them different. They're just having a little hard time with memory. But I think it would bring up the mood so much. And maybe it doesn't work on everyone, but I think everyone deserves to give it a try. As a future OT, watching Alive Inside really made me realize that playing music, maybe when you're first meeting someone with Alzheimer's, can also bring out a lot of the occupations that they enjoy. So if you see that they're connecting with a certain type of music or a certain beat, anything like that, you can see what their emotions are and you can see what they like. So this also brings in occupational justice when this is all about the client's spirituality, beliefs, religion, personal opinions, anything like that. So I think a lot of people don't take account for that when they're dealing with someone with Alzheimer's, just because they don't see them as anyone else, even though I think everyone should, but I see them as everyone else. So taking in and seeing that they still are people and seeing how they, again, the same thing with Henry, how he spoke, and I feel like I keep saying the same thing, but it's just, I don't have words for how this movie impacted me. It was just, first off, it was happy because it was so amazing to see them just be alive again. Not alive, but, and just seeing them excited and dancing and speaking and just everything. But it was also so emotional to think about all of those memories that they lost for so many years and thinking about how much this impacted their everyday routines, everything they loved. What if they played sports when they were younger? And it just made me think about all of the hobbies and how I love to watch movies, and I get to see and talk about the movies with my friends and talk to my friends. I get to take tests, and it's just so sad that they don't get to to think about these things. So seeing how music opened up their eyes and help them open up again and become who they are again, it impacted my heart, because it also, as I don't know if my parents are gonna have Alzheimer's when I get older, so I'm always going to keep this documentary inside, like in here, and I'm gonna make my parents watch it, and my brothers and my family, and I just said that, but and my best friend's family who is impacted and does have a family member with Alzheimer's, so they get to get the inspiration that I have, and I hope they get the flood of emotions that hit me from the first lady on the screen. And it kind of gave a flashback of like kids dancing. Like, it just made me think of, was that what was going on in their mind? What was happening? And again, this goes back along with occupational justice, and like for those clients who are nonverbal and don't know how to express their emotions, I'm wondering if I play music during our sessions, if maybe they'll open up more for me or their family, and maybe just connect a little bit more. So I think anyone who is going into OT, going into the medical field, is a professor, should be giving and making their students watch this movie, because the impact that it is going to have on my career is something I'll never regret. To get a little less like emotional, I guess, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my, I guess you could say, reflection on Alive Inside. I realized I was saying alive, I think, for a lot, but I mean Alive Inside, so please don't pretend I didn't say that.